feel like it all boils down to the ratio of does the good outweigh the bad, basically. Mm-hmm. Their imperfections, their flaws, they're going to be there no matter what. You can go from one relationship, one friendship to the next. But is it worth keeping?
What if they're so good, but that one bad thing, I ain't gonna be able to get over that. Yeah. It ain't even gotta be a lot of little bad things. It could be that one big thing and you're like, you know what?
I'm gonna fight you.
Yeah.
What do you do when you realize, like, damn, that's irking me, but that's who they are, and that's okay?
You have to remember why I think you liked it in the first place, because something I want to deal with, or it's not. So it may not be a flaw all the time. Just because you look at it as something negative because that's something that you don't do, does not mean you can label it a flaw.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Follow us on Instagram at You're Done Podcast. If you're not doing that already, and you should be. All right, welcome back to the You're Done Podcast.
Hey,
it's your girl, Big Desto, not the little one.
All right, got it together. Snaps from a girl, and be more, never less.
Look who's back.
Oh,
K-Wall.
Right, he can't stay away.
Right,
he got a lot to be done with.
Right. He said, you know what, and another thing.
Right. We're going to just elaborate on that.
But yeah, we back with our one and only guest that has been here twice so far.
Yeah. The first guest to be back twice, by the way.
Very inaugural moment.
Yes, I'm going to have to get you a certificate. But in today's episode, first off, the first one you was on was also about friendships.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, but today we're talking about relationships as well, but just in the aspect of loving those imperfections. Because when we first get into relationships, that person can do no wrong. Whether you're in a relationship or you start a friendship, you just like, I like the way they dress, I like the way they smell, I like the little weird thing that other people say they don't like, but that shit is cute to me. Right. And then all of a sudden, that honeymoon phase tends to be like, all right, why you don't clip? Right, because why you don't clip your toenails? I put them on the counter, and you still didn't get the hint to pick it up and clip them things. Don't put your feet on me at night. I said I like being warm, but I don't want it no more.
Right.
So that was just, I don't know. It was just like a thing. I will say a lot of times these topics do come up, like something will be going on in life, and I just be like, yeah, because that shit's annoying.
All I see is Brittany more updated than no.
Right? Baby, I be walking on my treadmill and I'll be like, yeah, because that pissed me off the other day. We should talk about that.
Yeah, it's just like a shared note of all kinds of ideas. And like, I don't know if we've said it with season 2, like it's about, like when I said and another thing, it kind of like bounces off of things that we've already talked about previously. Yeah. So it's like, because sometimes I feel like we'll have a conversation about something, but there is so much more that could be said, or you may have experienced something else, or you have experienced that same exact thing in a different situation. So like last time you were here, we did talk mainly just about friendships, right?
Yeah.
I think we talked about how we had our ups and downs within our friendship of knowing each other for so long, and then sometimes we be talking, sometimes we don't. I had to just realize, Kevin, he gonna get mad. That's what he gonna do. And it irritated me.
Mad.
But at this point, it's just like, that's it. I mean, he don't really do that no more, but, you know, we had to grow through certain things even within friendships, but we're all in relationships too, so it's like, how can that carry over into your intimate relationships?
Yeah. And you
that's a whole different ball game right there.
Right? And you still want to show up 100% for that person.
And
even though.
And then decide to spend the rest of your life with them.
Ghetto.
I feel like it all boils down to the ratio of does the good outweigh the bad, basically. Mm-hmm. Their imperfections, their flaws, they're going to be there no matter what. You can go from one relationship, one friendship to the next. But is it worth keeping? Is it worth holding on to? Is it worth fighting for? Does the good outweigh that person's imperfections?
Yeah.
And I would say all of my relationships and friendships, the good outweighs the imperfections.
Right.
There are some imperfections,
Right? Because what you trying to say about me?
There are some imperfections with a lot of my friendships and a lot of my relationships, and I'm pretty sure they can say the same about me too.
Yeah.
But I feel like the people that are in my life right now are the people that have accepted me for my imperfections, and they see Kevin through that.
Yeah,
so, and that's good.
I think that's good because I mean I've been knowing her all my life.
Yeah,
I've been knowing you a big majority of all my life.
Yeah,
and so it's like whenever we're deciding like, oh, these flaws, because sometimes you say like, does the good outweigh the bad? Right? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, what if they're so good, but that one bad thing, I ain't gonna be able to get over that. Yeah. It ain't even got to be a lot of little bad things. It could be that one big thing, and you're like, you know what?
I'm gonna fight you.
Yeah. Right. So it's like, as kids, I feel like it was easier for us to just be like, kind of just get over stuff. At some point, I think we talked about this too. Like, I'm just happy to have a friend, you know. They decide to stick around, so we cool, you know. Or like we see each other every day. Me and Kevin have multiple classes together since we've known each other, and so it's like, at some point we called ourselves not being friends, but I see this man every day. I used to go to his house and we would walk to school every day. So not only does that small little, oh, we're not talking right now thing affect my friendship, but it affected my daily life. Because what do you mean you're not talking to me, so now I can't come to your house and we can't walk to school?
Right, because my perfect
that's what we do.
Is on the line.
That's what we do.
And I need to show up.
But as you grow up, and like now we're like 30, and now we're like older, so it's like it's not such small things like that no more. So when I'm building relationships, so like you said, the friendships that you have now is people that stuck around through the childhood, the breakups, or whatever the case may be. And obviously we're not with people that we dated as kids. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like I had to grow into the person that I am today. Who's to say that Corey would want to be with me if he had to experience all the other stuff that came before me? You know? Right. And I don't know what flaws I may have that he see now, but I know I had a whole lot before then. Then.
But that's a good point, because now that we are all in a relationship, for me, I get a little personal. Like, Bree is an introvert, and I meet somebody at the gas station. Best buddies. Who's that? I don't know who that is. They smiled. I smiled back. We had a conversation. I'm back in the car. But usually you'll go, oh, opposites attract. That's so good, because I need to like sit down sometimes, and but now I'd be like, what you mean you just want to hang out with me? Like, I need you to go find somebody to hang out with. Right. Because
your friends, baby?
I need a break. And I love him. I do. And we do have a good time together. But now I'm just like, I was like, oh, that could be a good thing. I'm kind of just like, well, how long we going to do this? Right. You know, like. Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing, because at first it may come off as cute. Like, oh, you just want to hang out with me. But after a while, I was like, boy, go get a friend. Right. Love you so much, but I'm going to see you when you get back. Right. And it's a very important, that's another conversation, I guess. Right. No, a life outside of your relationship.
But that's
very important.
I mean, yeah, that is a different, I would say that's a different topic. But that's kind of like what this is. It's just like and it's not an imperfection that he's an introvert, but it's like those are the things that got you, right? Those are the things that you were like, oh, that can balance me out. We're doing well together in this space. And then, like you say, life starts to happen. Y'all get into new spaces. People are growing. You're changing your viewpoint on things, which is expected, because why would I want to, like you say, why would you want to be the same Destiny you was when you was in middle school? Right. It's great that you have evolved and become not someone else, but just a better version of your own self. And so I'm just like, and not saying we about to get divorced because his ass don't want to come outside, but it's just like, what do you do? And that's just like a small example, but what do you do when you realize, like, damn, that's irking me, but that's who they are, and that's okay.
You have to remember why I think you liked it in the first place. So, like, even with small, minute things of you being more outgoing than he is. So, like, Corey is a little bit more quieter than I am. So sometimes I may feel like he want me to be quiet, and I'm like, well, I got something to say. And so, because like for him, it's like he'd rather not say anything. And it's not to say I have a comeback for every little thing, but at the same time, it's like if I have something to say, I'm going to say it.
Yeah, let's converse.
So that's where our little, differences come in. But at first it was like you said, oh, we balance each other out, it's cool. But then what happens when it gets in the way of like, just because that's what you do, that don't mean that's what I gotta do.
Right.
That part.
So what, how do you balance that?
Yeah, and I'd be like, but and sometimes I have to tell myself take a deep breath.
Yeah. Because
this is who you are. Yeah. But and then not doing it in the moment, because sometimes I'd be like, it's a house full of people here, bro. Yeah. And this is not the time for me to be like, let's be chipper, because it could make him very uncomfortable, Right. But it's also just come on. But so and then I feel like sometimes you're just in this balancing act of, am I helping you come out of your shell? So because I'm already here and you want to kind of get a little bit out of your shell, so let me help you? Or am I really just pushing you in a direction that you nah, for real, I really like sitting here rubbing my feet together with just you. I really don't need nothing else. Because to me, I'm just you can't. Now, really, my husband could be happy with just me. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I do be feeling because I have so many other relationships, friendships, I'm I feel I do well going out, and not going out to the club, but spending time with other people. And so I just be oh, my little stank, you know, maybe he not really happy. I mean, he'll tell me I'm good, I'm happy, and I'll be you can't be though, you can't be that happy because you ain't went outside. And it could but that's just me. And so sometimes I feel we get into these I get into these weird headspaces of just is he really good? And then he's not from here, so we just have a different dynamic. I think it would be different if we grew up in the same space and we understood our space. But we grew up totally different. We grew up in different states, and it's just everything is new. Every time we make a shift, it's brand new for the both of us, and we're oh crap. Fun times.
I think it calls for patience.
For sure.
Patience.
I gotta work on that one.
Relationship, I'm a social bunny. I'm the one that likes to go outside more often. I like to be around my friends a lot too, versus the person that I'm with, my boyfriend. He likes to sit in the house most of the time, or his idea of going out would be, let's go see a movie.
I was just going to say, he keep a cinema.
Listen, if I go see another movie.
How I work through that is, I speak my mind, say how I feel about it, say I want us to do more than just go see a movie all the time.
Yeah.
But it takes patience. I have to prepare myself for those moments where he's trying, but then, okay, he's not going to be right where I want to be at the time that I want him to be.
Yeah.
So I gotta be ready for those no's when they come.
Yeah. Well, do you feel because I'm just speaking from my perspective, right? I'm in my head thinking maybe he really not that happy. So do you feel because you're social bunny that he's always bro, you always outside hanging with your friends, but I wanted to go to the movie. Why we ain't went to see our third movie this week?
Sometimes, and sometimes it'll be that thing where they're kind of throwing it back at you, oh, well, you're out all the time. You didn't want to go see a movie with me. Why we can't go do what I want to do too? But
see,
that's where you have to take time.
That's the battle. No, for real.
That's the ongoing battle, actually.
Yeah.
Right now, so I don't have
because at the end of the day, it boils down to that's literally just who they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not to say I'm trying to change you.
Yes.
Kinda. Right. How else are we going to get to some kind of common ground without somebody changing?
Yeah.
I would say change but upgrade. But that's my opinion.
But I think, okay.
To you it's okay. But to him it's I don't want to go.
Right? But this is interesting because I feel in the beginning of your relationships, right, the biggest thing you talk about is what do you want out of the relationship? And then y'all start realizing oh, I could do that. Oh, I'm that type of person. Oh, I can rock with what you got going on. And then all of a sudden you get married, or y'all get to, y'all start dating, or y'all live together, whatever. And now it's I gotta compromise. I thought when I told you that I like a clean house that you understood that.
Pick it up.
Now why is it on the floor?
No,
so now it's no longer, well, what do you want? It's, well, am I willing to compromise on what you just said? Because your version of clean and my version of clean, we are not even in the same room, baby, because the basket is right here.
Your towel is on the floor.
Why is the sock right in front of it? Stank.
I feel like I have to have those conversations in my head a lot too. Like, is it that big of a deal, Destiny? Is it that big of a deal? And in my head, I'm like, yeah, that's why we're having the conversation, Destiny. It is. To me, that is a big deal. But to them, it's just like, but at the same time, it's also just pick it up. But at the same time, it's like they could have just put it in the basket.
Yeah, that part.
And it's like, I think child relationships, friendships, whatever the case may be, because everybody do not operate the same way as you. Yeah. Everybody don't see things the same way as you. And granted, if y'all in a relationship, I assume that y'all agree on a lot of things. Yeah. But there is going to be some things where it's just like, I don't know why they do that like that. Because I would have did this like this and it would have been so much better.
Right?
You know?
Why don't that make sense to you?
Right. But to them, that's the right way to do it. And I feel like sometimes me and Corey also have those conversations of like I said earlier, just because that's how you would do it doesn't mean that that's how I want to do it. Or just because that's the way you do it, that's the way I do it, don't mean that that's the right way to do it. Right. So it's constantly this battle of being like, but it's Corey. He didn't mean it like that. You know, he didn't mean to piss me off.
But you did.
And then vice versa, obviously. So I feel like, with, I forgot.
With friendships,
Oh.
Cheat on her.
Oh, yeah.
This is what happens when your intern is out of town.
I know. Corey, come back. He said, no, you talking about my socks.
Talking about that towel that your camera. And the camera is fully charged, but I don't know. That light is blinking. It's making me nervous.
But yes, relationships. Loving each other through the flaws.
Right?
Well, since I lost my train of thought, let's just take a little detour. Let's take it away from like relationships and I guess friendships, and let's go for like family. Ooh. I'm your sister. You know, there's some things it's just like, she get that from her daddy.
Cause funny thing, but that's funny because when we were younger, my mom would always be like, "You act just like your daddy." Mm-hmm. But now that we're older, my mom was like, "Your sister is literally." It's like he just spit her out because the stuff it's like they just. I don't know how that made sense, and I'd be like, I don't know if you know. Who,
so y'all be talking about
who? Yeah, because she be
Daddy,
doing that,
they talking about us,
right? And I'd be like, yeah, that was a little crazy. But I think a lot of this comes down to like what it is, like you say, what is it that is actually going to be, I'm agitated and I'm about to start an argument about it? Because, for instance, I called my sister just yesterday and I could tell that she was agitated. Now, I know she's not agitated with me because we wasn't even in the same space. And I know myself, I'm like, one, when I'm pissed off, and somebody keep asking me what's wrong, and you can already see that I'm pissed off, but I'm trying to act nice, you just gonna make me more agitated. So now you taking it, baby, she not gonna take it out on me, because now I'm gonna have an attitude. Now we got an attitude with each other, and this ain't even start with me. Right. So I take time, but then I'll be like, damn, I didn't ask her, so she gonna think I'm not being a good sister because I didn't ask her how she felt. But then I'm like, I'm gonna give her space. But I think, going back to what Kevin said, having patience and understanding that the person that you're with, because I understand that when she ready to talk, she gonna talk. Yeah. And if she felt like it wasn't anything that she needed to talk about, then she not. Now, don't get me wrong. If I realize like, hell no, she got on and her face looked messed up, her house. Nah, some shit went on. We need to go catch a flight.
No.
We're not waiting to find out what you got to say because I'm fit to come up and find out for myself.
Yeah, no.
But it's just certain things that I'm just like, let me give her the space and the time to come around to whatever is going on. And then if she feels like there's something she needs to discuss or wants to discuss, then we'll do so. Mm-hmm. But then I saw her today and she her nice little package, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm just like, either she done sorted out on her own or she's had the conversation with the person that irritated her, or she spoke to a friend, and I can still be okay with that. But I think it does take time to determine what that is, because sometimes you want to be the person to help your person. I want to be the person to always help Bree. Mm-hmm. And when I feel like he's not taking my advice, then I feel like I have failed him. Yeah. And if he keeps saying like, oh, he's feeling some type of way, it could be about anything. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, well, what am I supposed to do to fix? But it's like, I'm not your fixer.
Yeah.
And he's not asking me to, but now I have put it on me to be that. So then I can help mask these imperfections of things that I feel like is tearing our relationship apart.
Yeah.
Right.
Versus just being like, my man is working through it and he's growing. Let him figure it out.
Yeah.
I figured out my own stuff, and when I needed him, he was a listening ear, and then he helped me through it. But sometimes I don't feel like I give the space to do that.
Right.
But
So wait, are we back on family imperfections or?
Sorry, we went family back.
I know, she switched my whole little topic.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, families, you can't just be like, I don't want to be your friend no more.
Right, you gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
Well,
you don't have to. That's the point.
Nah, I could block you. I pay for my own cell bill.
Some people don't deal with it.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to.
Yeah.
But I will say, I know me. I know the type of person that I am, and I know I have still to this day, at almost the age of 30, I have a lot.
He gonna do that almost.
I have a lot of imperfections. I'm still praying on it, still working through it. I'm learning new things about myself every season still. And I will say, my family shows me the most unconditional love, no matter how imperfect I can be at times. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to family and imperfections, it's like a safe zone, I will say. It's like a they're gonna be there no matter what.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
So you're more willing to deal with their flaws and imperfections because it's being given in return.
Right.
So what if you have a family that's like, cut them off. I don't care if it's my auntie, my great auntie. I said
what I said.
You.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't like that. Right, Finn?
Because I'm not going to lie. I'm the type of person, like, okay, you have a close, tight-knitted family. As where I feel like you say one more thing to my mama and it could be F you forever. I don't care.
Right.
That you changed my diaper when I was 3. I don't care.
Because I couldn't do it.
Somebody had to do it. So for me, it's like, and I think it depends. And it's not to say, like, when I say these things, like, okay, like I said on the other episode last season, I can say, forget you, but still not, I forgive you, whatever the case may be, but we ain't cool, because nobody gonna talk to Doris like that. Nobody gonna talk to Brittany like that. I was like that as a kid. Brittany come home, we're 6 years apart. Such and such, this Brittany don't like them, me either. I'm in elementary. They don't even care that I don't like that. But I don't, because why would you do that to my sister? So, to me, it's like, no matter who you are, kinda.
Yeah.
Obviously, if we're best friends, we're sisters, we're in a relationship, we're married, whatever, I deal with your imperfections way better than I would even somebody that's in my family, because I don't have that kind of relationship with them where I feel like I have to compromise my peace because you want to act like that.
Yeah. So, but I think that would be different because y'all talk. I feel like ours is more like it's the holidays, so who cooking what, and let's try and get together, and then we don't. Like, come on, y'all.
Yeah. So for your case,
y'all been doing pretty good these past few years.
We've been doing okay, but we're like, I don't know. I feel like as far as when you're talking about imperfections in family, I feel like we all, at least I feel like with ours anyways, there have been pockets of everyone has taken on like a different way of raising their kids. So I feel like with all of our cousins, there's different, like if I talk to Aunt Cindy kids, right? Mm-hmm. There's a way of which they were raised, and and they went here and they did this, and then if I talk to Aunt B kids, and so I feel like we all, weirdly enough, have grown up totally different. Mm-hmm. Even though for a period of time I was with Danielle all the time, or me and Katrina was like thick as thieves, and then like we grew up, and then we kind of just went our separate ways. But I think now that we're older and we have kids, we try to come back, but then it's just like, it was so much space in between. It's just like, I don't know if I'm making you feel some type of way because I view something different, but I also had a different life. I experienced a life differently, so I always kind of feel like if I'm sharing something or I'm doing something or I'm sharing my own imperfection to them, it's like that's really not an imperfection. You know? And so then I'm just like, well, I just don't really have a conversation because now I'm thinking too damn much.
Yeah.
And I don't like doing that.
I feel like that plays a big part in it. Like we all were raised differently, so what Destiny and Brittany may feel as is the end of the world, their life is not that big of a deal because you have this, you have that, or this and this and that. Because certain things Doris and Daryl was just not letting us do. You know, so the things that they were exposed to, we wasn't. Yeah. So that's just different.
And it's not that we don't know. We just didn't have to go through it.
Yeah, and I love them. But, like, we don't have that type.
Yeah.
Like, literally, Danielle called me last night.
Right?
So, it's not even like I hate my family. I don't at all, by any means. But it's just like, if there are some people in my family that I just don't have to deal with, and that's just what it is because we already didn't have that foundation to build off of anyway.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so for you,
I think it's
you're going to love your aunties and look down. And he do.
Right?
Because Nene, hey girl. But that's just what comes with any type of relationship, I feel like. I have a lot of friends as well where, well, obviously we're not, some people that we were friends and we're not anymore. But even with the friends that I have now, it's like, I don't feel like there's much flaws that they have where it'll be like, I don't want to be their friend. But also, speaking on family, like these are things that we've experienced through life of like having to grow up and witness these things or have people do certain things to us or judge us based off how we were brought up compared to how they were brought up, whatever the case may be. But I also feel like, and this just came to my mind, with Kevin, if we're putting it into perspective so you can understand what I'm saying, he's the family in his family, I think, that was brought up kind of like us, a little bit, maybe a little, let's just say sheltered. Yeah. And so, but his other family members don't treat him like that. You'll never think that, like, at all. And it's just like, they all cool, as if they was, I don't know, child. I don't know how they
grew
explain
up the
it.
Same, yeah.
Like, they were not raised the exact same, because obviously they have different parents, but when they are around each other, you'll never know that they feel like that about each other.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas I feel like there's some kind of divide. Yeah.
And I feel like we are like that when we're together. Mm-hmm. When our family finally gets together, y'all like, oh, y'all, this is crazy. Because we are all crazy. But then it's also just like, once we're out of that space, it's like, ask them the last time they spoke to me or called me or text me. I mean, but vice versa, right? When was the last time I call or text? But then I'm like, I did reach out to you that one time and you still ain't got me back. Right. So now I'm just like, well, I've been left on red.
Kevin cousin just accidentally called him on the way here. Right. And my thing is, if my cousin accidentally called me, they lying, because I know I ain't on your call log. Ain't no way you accidentally called me. Unless you say, hey, Siri, call Destiny, and she called the wrong one.
Right, because that's your look. Mm-hmm.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, I believed her when she said it was an accident. If my cousin said it was an accident, you're
that
lying.
ain't an accident.
You looked my name up, sister.
That part. So what you want?
Yeah, but I love my family. But it's just certain relationships in my life some people had the flaws, and I was not willing to deal with them. You had to go. You're done. But some flaws you are willing to put up with. So let's discuss what type of flaws are you willing to put up with, and does it depend on the person?
Ooh.
I'm willing to put up with sensitivity, and that doesn't depend on the person at all. Only because I'm full of it. Like, I'm full of sensitivity.
So Kevin only willing to put up with the flaws he has as well.
If you got your own flaws, we're together.
We're gonna work on it together.
Come back to me. I'm gonna start off.
That's a great question.
Come back to me though.
Whoa! Okay, hold on. What flaws am I willing to put up with, regardless of who the person is?
Because we can have family, we can have our friends, we can have our relationships. Crazy. But there's obviously some things that, okay, if Corey did that, I'll deal with it. But if such and such did it, oh no, you're done. Because why would you do that? But what's something that you are willing to be like, you know what? It ain't that big of a deal. Anybody can work through that one.
I don't know. I
don't even got an answer to my own question. Y'all leave it in the comments.
We done got stuck. We're done. Because I'm really thinking, like, because I feel like there's certain, okay, like I have pet peeves, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I noticed that someone has a flaw, and maybe because of how I was raised. My mom will always be like, Brittany, everyone's not raised like you.
Yeah.
So even though I'm like, I wouldn't have done it that way, I don't know if I look at them and say, this is a flaw that you have. I'm just like, you got a little bit of growing up to do, because that was a little childish, you know? But there's just like, I don't care who you are. If you steal from me, you got to go.
Oh, yeah.
If you lie, come on, what we keep lying? And keep lying. You got to go. We're done. And then if you talking about me behind my back, don't that. So that's one. Yeah, I can't stand. And then maybe it's more of a pet peeve than a flaw, but some people do, and it's like they live by it. Mm-hmm. They love to get in your face, give you your hug, say, hey, good sis, this, that, and the third, and then the moment they get somewhere else, oh yeah, she thinks she better.
Yeah, she thinks she this, she thinks she that.
I cannot.
Yeah, you're done.
I probably will say if it's a family member, I could not deal with it. That's one. If you are like that, I cannot deal with you. Mm-hmm. I will not invite you to my house. We're not hanging out. I'm not accidentally calling you. Baby, I done changed your name probably to something else and removed your emojis. You are now somebody else in another contact. Yeah. But I think if it was quote unquote a friend, I could still see you. Mm-hmm. I could still, like, I won't probably say, oh, we friends and let's go to brunch, but let you show up somewhere. Because I can front with you. Yeah. But with family members, I can't front. I don't know what I think it's more so because it's like, you my cousin or you my aunt or whatever it is that I'm just like, you just don't do that. Right. But when it's a friend, I'm like, I can replace you. Mm-hmm. But if you want to show up and act crazy, oh, let's do it. Right. Let's do it. And I love, not to say I love to match energy, that if you acting ignorant, I'm ready to come in and act like I'm from the hood. Yeah. But let's match energy, sis. Because the moment you say something and I know you out of pocket,
we're not supposed to do that, y'all.
I'm gonna be like, so last week that's word on the street was. Right. So anything you want to say about it, I will give people the space to clear something up though. Mm-hmm. So if I hear it, I don't take everything at value. Right. I will come to you. And I will give you space to clean it up. I don't even think you're going to match energy. I think you're just going to call it out and let them know that they got you messed up. Yeah. I don't even think it's like, she ain't. Oh. I think in the first encounter I do, but what I say by matching energy is that when they come in acting fake, I'm already up, right? I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna be like I would to anybody. But the moment you say one thing and I feel like I got the opportunity to come on and slide in, you fist to know. Oh. That's what I'm saying. I'm fist to match it. Now you know where I stand. Now you know I know where you been standing. Yeah. So the next time you see me, I suggest you look the other way, which has happened to me. People have seen me in Walmart and looked the other way. Don't look over here because I done already said what I said and we not cool. But I think I take it a little easier in speaking. But if I see a family member, it's an automatic. I'm going down the other. Like I'm making the turn to go down the other. But if it's a friend, I don't give a damn. I'm still coming. I need the Eggo waffles on aisle 3.
My baby need breakfast.
Right, that part. So
you got an answer, Kevin?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's a flaw though, but that's something I could do differently between friends and family. Yeah.
I think those are just poor character traits for sure.
Yeah,
it's just certain things that you're not. I'm not gonna be befriending liars.
Right. No, because you got to go.
You're coming to my house and you're stealing. Yeah, you're never coming back over here. Right? Like what?
Because where my refrigerator at?
And I was finna say something, but I'm not. But okay, I'm gonna say it because I'm not gonna say nobody's name. But that has happened to somebody that I know.
Somebody stole
and they still cool. That's all I'm gonna say.
Somebody stole a job?
No, not me.
Somebody that you know.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, it ain't me, y'all, because ain't nobody stealing over here.
I don't know.
You said they didn't get it back?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
Honestly,
stay at your house.
I put up with a lot. But I put up with a lot, but I also do a lot sometimes too. But the one thing I won't put up with is stealing, killing, or use some type of shiesty person.
Right? We out here murking people.
the worst of the worst.
Shystiness.
Listen, he said the 10 Commandments. Don't do them.
Kevin said you got a friend in him.
If you
You just ain't got to kill nobody.
Just no, but no, seriously, if you're a shysty type of person, no.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah, me either.
I think that's that's probably the biggest one. I just
but
can't.
that's so like, ooh,
right?
of course.
I don't know because some people keep fronting with people. I've watched people who quote unquote say they was cool, but then they go to separate corners, and it's like y'all saying two different things. Because I will say, growing up, I feel like, especially in Lamar, whoever popular. That whole group is popular. People who go to larger schools, maybe like in Houston, they be like, oh yeah, we were popular and we played sports and they here. And then they be like, oh, we was popular and we did. I'd be like, nah, baby, it was one group. So once you dated that one friend group, you count all 18 other girls out unless one decided to be the one to go out, So I feel like it was very different.
Always that one.
Right? But then by the time we get to high school and these two groups go separate ways, I'm like in the middle because I'm like, well, she ain't did nothing to me. I don't even know what you arguing about. I didn't realize that was even a thing. So then you start hanging out, realizing, oh, we doing this separately, and you start hearing, well, what you got to say? Now I got to go over there and hang out with her, knowing what you said.
Well, I guess my biggest thing will also just be the loyalty thing.
Yeah.
Because like I said before, I'm not befriending nobody who cool with people that don't like me. I also don't even I wouldn't even want to be in the middle of stuff. Look, hey.
Yeah.
That's just too much. Especially, I'm grown, girl. I ain't got time. Every time she know I'm going out with you, she calling me when she see I'm on the way home. About, did she say something?
No.
Because just call her.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that. I don't want to talk about that.
Right?
I don't. So stuff like that, or just being childish. I cannot stand childish people. Oh, I got a flaw.
Ooh.
I hate loud people.
Ooh.
You could be loud.
No, Kevin, I mean like obnoxiously loud. Like you just the person that just gotta be seen everywhere we go. That is not me. You better tell them people that it ain't. This episode ain't going out. Kevin, you got me so messed.
I'm just saying, she's that loud.
Okay, I could be like, okay, define loud. Because my type of loud is literally, like I said, like somebody that's just like you literally like we know you're here.
Yeah.
Like it's or somebody who likes to be the center of attention. I don't want to be friends with people like that.
I think that
I don't like that.
I think I can deal with loud because I'm loud, but I think it is a different type of loud. It's like when you come in and be like, bitch! Like, bro, why are we calling everybody we see the B word? Like, just say hi. And let's just go sit down at our table.
But that's like all the time.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place for everything, man. We are in the middle of Target. Well, you shouldn't be right now because you know what's going on. But my thing is, it's quiet in here. You know?
Yeah.
Like, why are you so loud? Like,
I can see that.
That is annoying to me because that ties into the center of attention thing. You'll do anything for attention. If you're that type of person, please don't come around me.
Yeah.
Because now I'm not hanging out with you. Then everybody knows, oh, I'm the girl that be with the loud girl. Because you don't even know nothing about me.
I guess you mean like a person that's loud all the time and don't know when to be civilized.
Yeah. I can't do that.
I'm about to say, because I got a loud
Knowing
friend,
the surroundings.
She knows when to.
Yeah.
She knows
Shut
when
it
to pipe
down.
Yeah. That's different. and sometimes like even like if alcohol is involved, okay, I'll give you a little pass. You just a little excited.
Yeah.
But if you're just a loud person in general.
So do you think that's actually like a flaw of theirs, or do you think that's just like their personality trait?
Oh, well, don't like it.
But I guess would that be? Yeah, I guess it would be just
That's
a flaw though.
Because you're not born loud. I don't think.
Is that really true? I get that from my mama. Like, I don't know, but I don't like it. It's just sit down and be quiet.
Yeah.
We see you. We know you're here.
Yeah.
So relax. I don't know. Especially like I guess being a female is so prominent. Like some females really do want attention.
Yeah.
If you're a attention seeking person, I do not want to be cool. I don't want to kick it with you, skate with you, none of that.
Well, I guess if we saying that, then I don't like when people say what they don't like about somebody, but then they do the same thing. And then when they do it, you supposed to be understanding.
Yeah.
that's stupid.
Yeah.
Don't
justify when you do it.
Yes.
Look, we were supposed to be talking about how to love people through their flaws, and I'm sitting here telling y'all what I
all
ain't
the
going to deal
flaws.
with.
But I mean, I guess when you talk about it though, it's just like if you've dealt with those flaws and that's somebody you felt like you could still keep in your life, well, how did you maneuver that? I think most of the time, like Kevin was saying, it's just you now have to have the conversation. But then it go back to you. Once I had a conversation and we can't compromise, okay, then we need to sever the relationship. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a friendship or, you know, like your spouse. Well, hopefully not your spouse, because when you go before the Lord and you say you do, listen, y'all locked in. Mm-hmm. But, you know, like a boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, partner situation, things like that, I think then maybe we need to be like, yeah, we need to cut it off. We're done. I'm not going to be able to do this with you. We're not going to be able to move forward because I'm realizing that I can't keep making up or justifying what it is that you're doing. I think when you start justifying for the person, especially in front of other people, knowing that it annoys you and now it annoyed that person, but I'm making excuses for you.
Y'all both done.
It's probably time to go.
We're done. Because it's just certain things that just can be very irritating. And obviously, like you said, okay, if I had a friend that was loud, I just won't go around that girl.
I was just gonna say, I think dealing with it in a friendship is more easier than dealing with it.
I'm never getting in a relationship with a loud person.
Yeah, no.
Why would I want to do that?
I don't know.
I gotta deal with you every day.
Right, Brian's is a mouse. Baby, I ain't got to worry about it.
You don't make a peep.
What you say?
Y'all be quiet. I
can't right. My boo talking.
Right, but I cannot deal with certain things especially, so I guess to answer the question, there are certain things that I guess a friend could do that Corey better not ever do.
Yeah.
Or
that's true.
Because it's just like, why would I want to be with someone like that?
Yeah. But I think that goes for anybody though. If
I deal that closely with you.
Yeah. Like there's gonna be certain things that somebody that you don't consider as close of a friend as Kevin. Like I like Kevin. If Kevin decided to say, "Hey, Brittany, X, Y, and Z is going on. Can I crash on your couch?" No questions. I'm not calling you. Kevin, text me. Yeah. It's cool. Let somebody else. How you get this number? Because I know Destiny, your friend. Why you didn't ask to sleep on her couch? I'm saying why my couch was the couch you thought about.
Yeah.
So I think that would be like just a tough thing for me, you know. But I don't know.
Like, if you're gonna be in a relationship with somebody, there's obviously certain
gonna be
things
flaws.
They're gonna have some flaws that you just have to find a way to deal with. Have those hard conversations of like, okay, I don't like that. Also, I think just being honest when you don't like something, like, didn't like that. Let's try not to do that one again. You know. Yeah. And obviously, like Kevin said earlier, there's gonna be times where it's like, they said they weren't going to do it again, but they did it again, you know? And it's like, okay, but at what point do I have, okay, if they do it 3 more times, can I say I'm done with them type of thing? Yeah. But if you really care about somebody, obviously you're not just going to cut them off. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think it sometimes just depends on the relationship, y'all. Yeah. You got tears to this.
But don't let time be the reason. Don't let time be the reason that you don't cut them off. Because, listen, time is a continuous thing.
If it's something that don't align with your morals or something
then just let it go.
That is not the person for you. That's not the friend for you. Yeah. And obviously you can't get rid of your cousin. But hey.
Right. I mean, you can block them though.
Yeah. She just gonna poor cousins. They like, dang.
I will say none of my cousins are blocked. I love all my cousins. None of them are blocked. They can call me anytime and I am there. I just went to my cousin's baby shower. Love her.
Yeah, but I think that's just the thing. So I feel, if we're gonna get into what are we done with, that'll be a hard question because it's just like, I can't just say, oh, I'm done with my friend because she loud. No. Like, I think also, I guess I could be done with, I guess, not extending the grace that I would want somebody to give me if I had a flaw that they didn't like. So if it's something that, okay, you did that, I didn't really like it. I know we talked about it and you did it again. Sometimes I get so, I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. You still doing it. And I think I have to like be a little bit more patient of being like, it's gonna take them some time, Destiny. Just give them.
You got this.
But at the same time, I do got that mindset of I already told him once. I ain't gonna say it.
Right. She said
depending on the person.
Yeah.
And I don't just be cutting people out. I do not want to. That's probably my problem. That's what I need to be done with.
Yeah.
Knowing when to cut them off. Yeah. And, you know, sometimes some people you do need to let go of.
Yeah.
It's not to say just because they have a flaw, I don't like that they're a bad person. But that's not something I want to deal with.
Yeah.
So depending on who that person is, what role they play in my life, whatever the case may be, sometimes you just got to let them go.
Bye.
All right.
I'm a 90s.
Bye. So what y'all think?
So what I'm done with, I'm not actually done with in this moment. I'm working on being done with it. Mm-hmm. I'm done with allowing. I'm done with.
Take you that long to figure out?
No, I can't judge because that's what I be like in my head. It sounds great when I'm saying it. I don't know if they're gonna catch what I'm doing. Yeah.
I'm done with not letting go. So if an imperfection is becoming too much, or if it's getting to the point where it's starting to make me feel uncomfortable within the relationship, within the friendship, anything of that matter, I'm done with still holding on. But like I said, I'm still learning on it, so I'm really not done with it at the moment.
Yeah.
That's my official, you're done.
Yes. No, back on me. I think I'm gonna be done with being a fixer. I think when I think someone has an imperfection or a flaw that I feel like I'm pretty good at that, I can help. But it's like, if they didn't ask you, honey, this is not your space. Mm-hmm. But it's okay to have the conversation. Like, hey, I noticed. Don't take it the wrong way. This is something I noticed. What are you thinking about it? Mm-hmm. So I think I just need to be done with, let me have a conversation with myself and then start trying to do things to like help them when really I could be making someone feel very overwhelmed in a space that I feel very comfortable in. Right. And then from there also just having the conversation. So, because maybe it's something that they ain't even thought of, that I'm over here nitpicking about them, that they're like, oh, I didn't even realize I did that. Like, Breon's never realized that he would rub the top of my head. And I'd be like, I'm not a dog. And he was like, I don't do that. And I was like, yes, you do. Yeah. You do that. And it wasn't until like we would be out and then he did it. And I was like, you just did it. Did you see that? You did it. And he was like, my bad. Right. And I don't know what it was. And he used to like call me curly top. So I don't know if it was just like he would introduce me or say something. Then he would be like, he just touched my head. And I was like, but to me, I was like, that's weird. That's a flaw I didn't like. He don't do it no more. But it was interesting. Yeah.
I think that's something I could work on too. Of just understanding that whatever I see as a flaw in somebody may just be who they are. Mm-hmm. And having to make that decision of like, if that's something I want to deal with, or if it's not. So it may not be a flaw all the time. Just because you look at it as something negative because that's something that you don't do. Yeah. Does not mean you can label it a flaw.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. That is a good point.
So yeah.
Because I'll be like, ghetto. Right. Gots to go.
So yeah, we're done with that, y'all. Everybody got flaws. We love y'all.
So fully embrace them and love them through it.
Flaws. The camera's still blinking.
But it did not cut off. So yay.
Y'all still rocking with your girl.
Right?
So yeah. Thank y'all for tuning in to what's episode? I don't know.
But we in season 2, y'all. Big ups to sticking with us as we get through season 2.
With our host.
Yeah, we have to put him on payroll, and it don't exist.
Appreciate your time, though. Right. He's volunteering. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in to the You're Done podcast. See y'all same time next week. Peace. Woo!
That was a good one.
That one kind of almost went off the topic. Just a little bit. Because I feel like it was so much you could say about that one.
There was. This is why she said...
do I love y'all or not?
This is why she said Kevin gonna be good for this one.
Right. Because I be knowing everything Kevin be saying, talk about when he say it. That's why I'm looking at him. Go ahead and say